Hello everybody, good morning, happy Friday, it's your boy Dave Neal. So this video and the next couple videos we'll be talking about Reality Steve, specifically Jenna Cooper, and she shares the screen grabs of the fake text messages sent to Reality Steve that was his proof that she cheated on her fiance. Now, as we know, a lot has happened in the last couple of weeks with regards to people talking about Reality Steve and how he gets his sources for the information he uncovers. And what a lot of people are learning or coming to terms with is this ain't your traditional reporting. This isn't two verified sources corroborating information, none of that. He's running with stories in some cases that are turning out to be so damaging that it's enough to convince couples to break up over it. And I want to jump right into it. So if you guys aren't familiar with the story, Jenna Cooper, there she is right there, was on the season of Bachelor In Paradise. And this article is almost 3 years old. So the story's a little bit old, but all the new information's coming out. What basically went down here is she and Jordan Kimball got engaged, and then cheating reports came out. Engagement bliss was cut short for Bachelor In Paradise couple Jordan Kimball and Jenna Cooper after getting engaged on the pre-taped finale of The Bachelor and Bachelorette Summer Spinoff series on Monday night's episode. The pair revealed on Tuesday's reunion show that weeks after filming had wrapped, they are still together and moving forward with wedding plans. By Wednesday, all of that had changed. During the reunion show, which was taped August 28th, 2018, and weeks after cameras stopped rolling on the Mexico beach set, Jordan pitched his and Jenna's TV wedding to franchise host Chris Harrison. June 9th, on the beaches of Paradise with Harrison officiating. We have a date for the wedding. We have to start planning that and blah, blah, blah. So they get into all that. Shortly before the episode aired, however, the franchise spoiler blogger Reality Steve published a report accusing Jenna of cheating on Jordan. And when you say report, I mean, you know, a 7th grade book report has to have more, fact checking than this has. The report included screen grabs of text messages apparently sent by Jenna, where she says she and Jordan aren't together for real and that she's faking it for her business. She runs a social media management company. Again, I'm going to show you these text messages so you can see if you would believe this yourself. She said, I don't even like him, let alone love him. I'm better than him, and once I'm able to, I'll break it off for good and make some good story up and make up some story to make him look bad if it will make you feel better, she writes in the message to a man claiming to be in a relationship with her. I'm aware of the allegations being made against me, and they are simply untrue, Jenna told People in a statement. I am choosing to focus on my relationship right now. Thank you for respecting my privacy at the time. Jordan, however, Jordan Kimball, not necessarily the brightest crayon in the box, however, said he felt weak in the knees and like I have rocks in my stomach after hearing the story, which he got a warning of on Twitter. On Monday, I saw something someone posted on Twitter that somebody was going to be roasted the next night, he told the magazine. Jenna called me and said she was very anxious about this Twitter post. I talked to her in the middle of the night last night. I said, don't hype yourself up. Don't worry. You have nothing to worry about. I tried to calm her. I went back to bed for a few hours, woke up, had my coffee, and she called me again and said she was anxious and felt sick to her stomach. She's in New York. I told her to keep calm. I thought she was just being nervous for no reason. Then I was driving back to Central Florida from Miami, and I started getting calls from castmates like Chris Randone. I started getting screenshots sent to me. I didn't know what to think. I sank in my seat. All of this was fabricated. And these are real humans feeling real feelings. The guy could have ran his car off the road. I mean, imagine, how damning this was. The person you love, you find out they're cheating on you, when in fact it's not true. Jordan told the magazine that he believes the report. I know my Jenna, and I read those texts, and in my heart, I know it's her. And again, this is not true in hindsight. She was saying she didn't do it, but hinting towards the fact that there's a possibility that it happened. In all reality, I don't expect her to own it. Jordan said they had been in the midst of planning an engagement party, but that this news is now killing him. I would never have expected this. I feel sick about it. I just don't understand why someone would say that they're better than me and have ill intentions. If this whole thing sticks and it's true, I will be hurt much more than the depths of romance. I will be hurt as a person and as a friend. There are so many layers to a relationship right now. I feel all of them peeling back. The only way that this story could get any crazier is if it's ever proven that Jordan actually fabricated those texts, which I don't believe, but it is a theory. Jordan, a model from Florida, broke out as a franchise face after his dramatic stint on Becca Kufrin's recent cycle of The Bachelorette. He quickly earned villain status for feuding with his fellow castmates, most notably co-star David Ravitz. Jordan and David continued their fighting when they returned on Bachelor in Paradise, but Jordan's storyline quickly turned to one of romance once he and Jenna began dating. This was not a TV romance, he told People of his relationship with Jenna. Actually, that's exactly what it was, but I get your point. It was real, and whether you like me or not, I deserve love. I found it, and this is what happened. So for the sake of anyone who's ever been in love, be understanding. All right, so that was it. The indecisiveness didn't last long. Later on Wednesday, Jordan announced that he had broken off the engagement and removed himself from the relationship with Jenna in a lengthy Instagram post. So he makes this post. Let's see if it even exists still. I haven't clicked on this. Who knows? I can't imagine it still exists. You'd think you'd want to take it down. Look at this photo. Wow. I guess this still exists. To think, to feel, to experience, and people who, to think, to feel, to fall. These emotions interact with experiences and people. When you find a person, you think about them, you feel when they, blah, blah, blah. Jeez. It's dropped me. Fumbling emotions and being understanding is not easy. So that's it. Let's see if there's any recent comments about it. People, how unbelievable. I thought you were Barbie and Ken when she was kissing Ben. Wow. And the other guy, that should have been a red flag. Yeah, the other guy didn't exist. So it makes you wonder if maybe you can't comment on this anymore. But it's interesting in hindsight. And again, I'm not saying that he created these text messages, but the fact that he believes the text messages over her. I mean, she was begging and saying, look, it's just not true. Well, we have the text messages. Before I share the text messages, I'm going to share this quick story from Reddit that someone posted, which is also just kind of shows the lack of attention that goes into vetting the sources that can be so damaging to others. This was from Reddit yesterday. In case anyone doubts how little Reality Steve vets his sources, I sent him false info on purpose during JoJo season, and he ran with it. Now, why would anyone ever do this? It's beyond me, but this happens. He needs to realize that he's a target. And this is a good example for me to realize that with my platform, that just because someone sends me stuff doesn't mean it's true. I mean, I get people sending me stuff all the time, and I'm like, is there a source? It's always a friend of a friend. It's like, you can't do friends of friends. Like, I can't do that on my platform. So, I was a big Reality Steve fan. Yeah, your girl got drunk once and asked him to hook up during a Periscope Live, LMAO. But anyway, during JoJo season, I was feeling a little shite and wanted to see how much he actually vets his sources. During JoJo's season, her F1 was accused of cheating on her and used to hit the celebrity dating app Raya after the show. Also before, but who cares? To prove he wasn't, Jordan sent an email from Apple showing when he unsubscribed from Raya on Apple apps. So here I am, being drunk, June 2016. I made a fake Gmail, and not even an official Apple email, just a Gmail. And I said I worked for Apple or some BS. The email Jordan posted was probably edited and didn't look legit, and Jordan was still subscribed to Raya. Reality Steve posted a screenshot of my email, didn't vet me or anything, and he posted it as the damn truth from an Apple employee. I felt so guilty and emailed him and said I was kidding. He told me he believed me and to not be scared of Apple. So even when the person fesses up to it, the guy, Reality Steve's like, no, you're right. So I was like, yo, I'm an idiot who lives in Idaho. Seriously, this was a joke. And he never posted anything saying like, hey, yo, this source wasn't real. He just kept rolling with it. So screenshots of when he posted email to Twitter. The email screenshots say today, so this is the screenshot of the fake email that was sent to Reality Steve. So let's see if this is any good. Steve, now I am ashamed I did that much research on this, but I work for Apple and I'm not just a small customer service employee. I'm one of the big guns in app subscriptions. I can prove that to you somehow if I need to, and I'm also your number one fan. In the email Jordan posted that was from Apple, I have strong reason to believe that it was fabricated. How would it be fabricated, somebody might ask? Follow with me here for a sec. Yeah, this is just fan fiction. First of all, no offense to this person, but it's just insane that they sent this fake. Look for his search bar. It says QB Country, which is a year-round quarterback training camp. He wasn't searching for a ride. After looking at the dates, he said he deactivated his profile after he agreed to be on the show, which he claims was March 12th. But on his little fake Riot email, it says March 11th. His stories don't add up. So this was all fake. And then Reality Steve says, let's keep this going. This is fun. I mean, it's fun until it's not. You know what I mean? It's fun until it's not. And then in hindsight, it's almost like that we're looking through the wreckage, looking for the fuselage, and then we're understanding that the whole crash, the collateral damage, it all can be avoided because this simply is sharing false info with your audience. Now, yeah, I believe he wanted it to be real. Steve, though, I wanted Santa to be real. You know what I mean? Oh boy, did I want him to be real. What do you mean? I saw he ate the cookies. I'm like 19. My mom, she's like, you don't need to believe anymore. I'm 25. I'm like, come on, what are you talking about? I saw him at the Walmart. He's a real guy. I sat on his lap. I pulled out his beard. It came off. What do you want? So anyway, the idea, the want and desire to believe something can create a sort of filter, if you will, over the truth. The truth, you want the truth.
You can't handle the truth.
Can't handle the truth. Because the truth is this was all made up and the story wasn't retracted. So here's Jenna. Okay, that was just a sidebar of just to show that people are sharing like, hey, we gave them misinformation. And this happens in news reporting where people will send information and it's kind of like a sinister, the motivations are very sinister, but you could take down a journalist with faulty information. You can troll people. It's one thing to prank call somebody. It's another to convince a journalist to run with a story that's not true. And it doesn't take too much work. In today's world, you could start something in a blog. Next thing you know, CNN reports it, then Fox News, and it's treated as reality. In this world, it's not national news. It's only affecting one or two or a small handful of people at a time, but these are real human beings. This is just bandwidth we don't need on the internet. I mean, we really don't. So this is where it starts. Jenna released some of the text messages that Reality Steve had verified, and I can't believe he actually fell for this. So we're going to read some of these, okay? So bear with me. This is Jenna Cooper. Now, real quickly, let me pull out of there so you pay attention to me real quickly. So the whole reason we're talking about this is because Chatty Broads decided that they would kind of confront Reality Steve for some of his bad journalism. So because of that, they brought Jenna Cooper on and Jade, who was slut-shamed for being in Playboy, and he talked about her being a survivor of domestic assault, and that's why she did it. And he's apologized for a lot of that. But now that you're seeing how the sausage is made, you're seeing it's like, oh my gosh, we took a blogger and we shared all of this. Like, we gave him the equity and the control over these storylines, and we just ran with it because he does get things true. So that's the thing. A broken clock is right twice a day. I'm not saying he's a broken clock. He's probably right more often than he's wrong. But when he's wrong, it's like, bro, you can't be wrong with this stuff. You get a chance to be fooled once or twice in your career with stuff like this. Just once. But even when you're fooled, you should still have the receipts to prove that you had sources and they dropped the ball. But in a lot of these cases, he can't even vet these sources. So if you can't vet the sources, it's not proof. And this is probably an example of someone who, Reality Steve is a little bit older. He probably, like if he's anything like my parents, they live in a world where if they see something online that looks real, like my mom could never, she could read 90% of Onion articles and think that they're real because they're written with that journalistic, they look real. Even though, you have to kind of sift through it and realize, oh, this is BS. To my mom, she'd be like, well, but it was on a website. I was reading the news, I don't know why I sound like a 1920s news, but I was reading the news. Say, breaker. Come and get it. Hot off the press. Hot off the press here, we have Jenna Cooper. Jenna Cooper fit, in case you want to know. Boy, I bought Jenna Cooper fit. No room for gaining weight there if you have fit in your name. Imagine if my name was like, I'm Dave Neal fit, and then all of a sudden I'm like, yeah, not after that birthday pizza. Shout out Susan. All right. So she decided now that it's getting more love and people are kind of giving her this redemption. She's saying, hey, I'll show you the screen grabs he sent me as his proof. It's pretty ridiculous. So then we'll watch it. We'll see, oh my gosh, I can't believe he fell for it. I can't believe Jordan fell for it. None of us saw the screen grabs. We just took it as fact, which is dangerous, right? Well, let's get into it. And I said this before. I put a monetary value at what I believe Jenna Cooper would be worth if she didn't have this happen to her. Because as we know, there's a lot of monetization that happens in the Bachelor world when you're at a certain level. Influencer deals, this and that. And whether you like it or not, that's real money. My thought, just my random guess, is that she lost, again, random guess, and leave a comment, let me know what you think. My thought is she lost around $350,000. That's just the number I came up with. Brand deals, making extra money, appearances, things like, building your social media, having a podcast, launching a podcast, whatever it might be, her own business as a personal trainer or whatever it is she does, dietitian. I don't know what she does. I just see that she says Jenna Cooper fit, so I'm assuming she's not a librarian. Jenna Cooper fit these books into this. No, she's doing crunches and whatever. So empower to her, it's the least you can do is build your own following after the show just obliterates you, just napalms your forest over here. So Anyway, I think I'm not saying that Reality Steve owes her that money. I mean, she'd have to sue him for defamation. She'd have to prove that he knew the texts were fake. And I don't think you can do all that. It's just like when you get in a car accident and you can't prove that it wasn't your fault. It's like, this was horrible for her to go through. And all she gets now is just the redemption of knowing she came out of it alive. She probably got to see who her true friends were in this whole scenario. Since the podcast with Chatty Broads, I've been getting messages about what other fake texts we were talking about. The proof is still confusing because there are many people and accounts involved, but to clear some of it up, this is Ashley. So this is Ashley. She used to write messages saying how much she liked and supported me. And by the way, this is what some people do online. I get it myself, where people will say, "Oh, Dave, I used to be a fan of yours, but I'm not anymore." So this is this happens out here. By the way, I see that my video's lagging, so just hang with me. We're gonna finish this thing off strong. She used to write messages saying how much she liked and supported me. Then she made up an email to contact Steve and pretended she was a man named Travis who knew me and claims it was all true, that I'm a cheater and that he can get more information. Good morning, you're Jenna's mother, correct? Just want to make sure, since I feel like someone else has already tried to set me up. I keep fighting off these trolls and people keep tagging me like I know things and then I'm going to talk about Jenna and I won't. I know she doesn't know me. I live in Jersey, but I always supported her. She was always my favorite. She even tweeted me last time saying, "Happy birthday, beauty queen." So this person, Ashley, is writing to what appears to be Jenna's mom. Ugh, this is just yikes. My number is so-and-so, which is what I needed to change. My wife is an airline attendant, so when we were together in Jersey, so a lot of pathological, weird things happening here, some text to prove it. So she made up an email. She contacted Steve, and already it's just suspect. So this is a fake text message that was used to incriminate Jenna. And then Jenna just reposted this on her Instagram story yesterday to kind of show how bad it was. So let's just read this. Jenna said, "Here's one of the fake texts. She just took this pic off my IG." So this is literally just an Instagram photo. It isn't even a full circle here, right? "I don't know what to do, Travis. I'm terrified people will hate me if the truth gets out. I need to advance my career. I know how to play my cards. This is all about my business, and I can't feel sympathy for wanting that." So this is written like a bad Lifetime movie. If you understand, movies have to have subtext, so the audience has to understand what the world is that exists in the movie. And a lot of times they'll do that with dialogue. It'll be like, two women walking down the street, and it'll be like, Ramona, because I can't afford to open up my salon, I'm gonna have to start an OnlyFans account. And then Ramona's like, "I know you are, but I'm glad that's what you're doing after you broke up with your ex-boyfriend from college." And it's like, at the audience, we have to go, "Okay, she's starting an OnlyFans." You know what I mean? It's just insane, like the how badly written this is, and hopefully that helps explain it. It's a bad Lifetime movie. Jenna, I love you as a dear, dear friend, but dragging this guy along is wrong, and I'm sorry, but karma will come. I'll support you, but you need to right the wrongs. Apologize in the truth, or you'll lose all your followers. Was it worth it? Well, maybe we can sit down in a private location, and I'll explain it all. I never thought my princess should sell me out. I did this to help us both. Again, I love you, but it doesn't seem right, and you definitely changed. I adored the old you. When did you become this person in desperate need of money? I mean, it's written with English as a second language almost, like someone wrote this, or like they Google translated, like it's sophomoric at best. Hey, and then this is the second page of the Screengrabs. She says, "Here's another. Hey, handsome, thanks for checking in. After you saying you were being beyond disappointed in me, I wasn't sure if I'd hear from you again. I cannot tell you how over the moon I am that you reached out. Guess today isn't so bad after all. Thank you for not giving up on our friendship after all I did. I checked in because I'm a good guy and also because my wife told me you are being ambushed pretty hard on social. Truthfully though, what did you expect? Not trying to be a dick, just a truthful friend. Unfortunately for you, you turned everyone against you, and this is not the first time you've been in a situation like this." And then Jenna says, "At least now I can laugh about it." Good for you, Jenna. I talked about this the other day, how much money I think has been lost by Jenna by being smeared, and I put the number at $350,000. Now, hold on, let me explain. That's just a guess that I've made, but, 3 years ago this happened, right? And the contestants, they go on a show, they are the sort of ABC, Bachelor, they make their money off the contestants, right? The contestants are the product. They don't really get paid much. They go to Mexico, have a few margaritas. What they get at the end of it is a platform where they can sell their products. They can do whatever they want to do with their Instagram career or their, nutritionist job or whatever it may be. Because of this, she lost her following. People didn't believe in her. She had no brand trust. So it's like, how could she even have a job after this? So clearly this affected her earnings. She seems to have a really good spirit about it. I'm glad people are finally understanding the truth. A little too little, too late, but hopefully this is a nice example moving forward that that our sources and we don't just believe everything we see, even if there's text message proof. She of course had to hire somebody to kind of prove that the texts were fake, which is insane. She had to do that. That's more money she had to spend just to kind of vindicate herself, just to get her name, cleared. It's just so sad. But anyway, so that was that episode. And if you guys want, I'm going to promote now my Patreon. I do a behind the scenes Patreon look at Bachelor news and information I can't just share with everyone. There are no spoilers, but it's kind of just like my behind the scenes of who I am as a YouTube creator, stand-up comedian, and some personal stuff. So I make these behind the scenes podcasts, and I recorded this at 6:30 this morning. Just me, you, a cup of coffee. I play a few songs. Because it's Patreon, I can play some licensed music. I played some Black Eyed Peas and some Maroon 5, just hanging out. And if you want to hear more about the behind-the-scenes look, things I can't share with you, I'll talk about some bigger, I'll talk about the contacts I've had with people in Bachelor Nation and all of that. So you can go check that out. Link in the description, patreon.com/thesap. That's where I keep the private Patreon-only versions of the podcast. And, of course, the free podcast is out there. I do it every week. You can go check that out and search the SAP. And I want to thank everyone who joined me on the birthday live stream yesterday. Thank you so much. Susan Rich sent in pizza from Detroit. Amazing. Jen Murphy sent flowers in from Canada. You guys are so sweet. I appreciate everyone who donated and showed me your support. So thank you guys so much. More content to come. Next video, we'll be talking about Christina Schulman explaining how she was wronged by reality Steve. I think the point of this all is we need to reckon with our media literacy and understanding that we're all a part of the problem if we share fake news and information that hasn't been vetted as truth, and we need to understand when we're kind of contributing to the collateral damage that exists out there. All right, folks, thank you so much for being a part of this. I will see you guys later on. Bye now.